Hey frag heads and fragrance lovers, welcome back. It's Benjamin here at the Scentaur Fragrance Channel. What's your scent of the day? What are you wearing today and how are you doing? I hope that you're smelling fantastic. Today, y'all saw the title, you know what we're talking about. Russian leather from the house of Memo. This is a beautiful, the best way to describe this and categorize it is almost like an aquatic leather, but there are green facets to this. There's some oak moss hidden up in this fragrance, a little bit more of that almost like a light, fresh, young oak moss. This is almost a fougere. Some describe it as a frozen fougere. It has a cold type of vibe. It's supposed to capture the feel of Russia. For a lot of the time, for some reason, because I associate this fragrance with having a winter type of feeling to it, I actually sometimes want to call it Siberian leather because it reminds me of a cold winter. It reminds me of snow on the ground. It reminds me of the cold, maybe a cold night out there in Russia. They have a wolf on here, so it's supposed to have like a howl to it. It's not animalic, nothing like that. It's not scary. But Russian leather has a little bit of a mysterious vibe about it. Even though it's fresh, almost aquatic, there is a little bit of citrus off the top, and then it dries down and becomes a leather, of course. It has leather here, but it's very subdued. To me, it's almost in the background. It just adds a body to the fragrance. To me, the leather isn't aggressive or terribly unique, honestly. But the little oak moss facets and the little fougere, crispy, elements to this fragrance, almost like it has a little bit of clary sage perhaps to it. Really, that's what makes this fragrance a little bit more interesting. I sometimes think I might get a little bit of fancy saffron, but there's not really any of that in there. Maybe it's hidden up there in the notes and the accords, but as a secret note. But honestly, this fragrance isn't going to excite everybody. It's not terribly unique. For people who are deeper into the fragrance game, and for people who are first getting in the fragrance game, it's not a happy, cheerful, bright fragrance. And, for some gentlemen out there who may be more reserved or calm or have a really, gentlemanly nature about them, this fragrance actually might, feel really good to you and actually might really work. But I think for a lot of people, it just doesn't have anything bombacious about it, exciting in the dry down, and the opening isn't citric enough to get people who like citrus and mass appealing fragrances to really want to get involved with this fragrance. So I don't think it really is a big success in either ways, but I actually do like that they tried to capture the Russian wilderness with the trees and with the snow and with the coldness and the unforgiving nature of the Russian, if you please look it up, the Russian winters and the Russian wilderness is not a very survivable or pleasant place that you'd want to live. But I do like that, the inspiration behind this brand and what they got going on here. But again, it really doesn't blow me away. It doesn't really wow me. But as far as Fougeres go, this, for some surprising reason, I actually do like this. Was one of the Fougeres, or one of my Fougeres that I like more. We'll talk about the price and the value later on, but this is actually one of those modern Fougere-like fragrances that actually is quite likable. So getting into the performance, I get, it's hard to guesstimate. Again, I only guesstimate off my skin, asking people's opinions, testing it on my skin, how long I can smell it. Sometimes you go nose blind. I always try to put that caveat out there. Hopefully y'all know that, but I get anywhere from 7 to maybe 9 hours. On clothes, it'll last a little longer, but usually I think most people are going to give about 7 hours. You probably suspected better performance. Honestly, this fragrance might last upwards of 9 hours, but after the 7-hour mark, it's so subtle, and it's really not a big performer from the beginning anyways, that I think a lot of people are going to think this fragrance is dead. For people who expect big performance, you might think this fragrance is dead in like 5 hours. So performance also is not a strong suit of this fragrance. So I think that that's one reason this fragrance isn't very well talked about, very particularly popular, is because it just loses or kind of fails in a number of different regards. Compliment factor, not a lot of people smelled it on me, not a lot of people came across it. Some people liked it. If they did smell it, it smelled gentlemanly. It did smell a little bit refined, but it doesn't smell overtly gentlemanly. It doesn't smell traditionally oak mossy, or doesn't smell traditionally masculine in that sort of way. It's also not terribly unique, but it does have a good younger professional man's kind of vibe almost to it. So I do think it does a good job, but again, it's trying to capture that frozen tundra type of feel, and even though that's likable, and because it's kind of watery and still kind of fresh, it's not a vibe that, I don't know, it doesn't speak amber, it doesn't speak spices, it doesn't speak cozy, likable sweet vanilla, or aquatics, or blue DNA, or any of those things that usually get the big compliments. So compliments, you're probably not going to get noticed, and if you even do get noticed, it's not really a big compliment getter, but it's not unpleasant. It's just because it's not exciting to a lot of people. So this fragrance here, price and value wise, you sometimes can get amazing values on this fragrance because you know, it's just not popular. Some people blind buy it and figure out that they don't find it's exciting, or maybe it just doesn't turn them on. This fragrance, though, you usually can find it on a good discount for about $150. Full retail is getting upwards of $250. I would not pay full retail for this fragrance, even though I like supporting brands, and I think that we should support brands and help them to continue going. But I think you have to put your money where you think the fragrance is worth. I do think some fragrances are worth paying full retail, but if you were to like this fragrance and get into this one, I think that you almost need to encourage Memo to do something better, do something more, make the fragrance bigger and bolder, stronger concentrations, or just do something you know, more unique than this. Even though I like the inspiration, and again, I actually really like the story behind this fragrance, I connect to it for some reason. I don't think that they put enough you know, bold enough notes or creativity. The accords really just don't leap off the skin, and to me truly just don't smell you know, unique enough or creative enough to really justify the price. So I would say pay the $150 or even less if you are interested in this fragrance, and I think that most people might actually just think this fragrance is boring, honestly. So try it if you like it. Again, I think it's worth trying. I buy bottles. I buy and sell all the time. This one is another one from my dad. He buys and sells all the time as well. So this one might be worth trying. This one might be worth exploring. It's might be something worth trying if you do like modern hybrid fougere like fragrances, but I don't think it's going, again, it's not highly suggested. But if you have a chance to smell it at a boutique or get a sample, I mean, why not try it? You might actually like it. And I'm sure there are some people out there who like it. If you do like this fragrance, let us know below why you like it, and maybe tell other people why this fragrance is worth trying. I think this fragrance is kind of forgotten about. It's one of the least, or maybe the least popular from the Memo leather line. And if you're watching this fragrance review, you might tell yourself you've never heard of this fragrance, and it's actually been out for quite a few years. African leather gets most, if not almost all of the spotlight, but I do hear that Italian leather, you know, African leather might be the most popular in the fragrance community, but I think it's Italian leather, if I remember right, actually is the biggest top seller from the brand, which is quite interesting. But anyways, interesting fragrance, nothing to hoot, holler, or celebrate about, but it's worth giving a try. So guys, have a beautiful day, ladies and gents. A few ladies do watch my channel. I'm so grateful to y'all. But let me know in the comment section below, what's your favorite modern hybrid fougere fragrance? Something that's modern fougere like. I know that Goldfield and Banks has, you know, Pacific Rock Moss. That one probably, for most people, would be a lot more likable than this. But, you know, if you like those likable, tender, soft, oak mossy vibes, you know, if you do like Pacific Rock Moss, this one might be one you like that's a little bit more grown up. You actually might like this one, so maybe that's about the only person I could maybe suggest this fragrance to. So have a beautiful day, everybody. Wear what you love, rock what you got. I hope that you enjoyed my fragrance review today. So why don't you help me out down below? I'll catch you in the next video, everybody. Stay safe, stay beautiful, and I'll catch you, everybody, next time. Peace out, and bye.